So it turns out that making a Slugcat pinata for your son's birthday, seen here about to be smashed in the face, is much more difficult than you might think. So here is the process that I went through for that. So I decided to make a couple of different models in drawing and then let my son choose between them. Those are two from different views. There was the Slugcat, and then there was the lizard monster. Actually, the one on the bottom, I realized afterwards, didn't have a leg on the back like it should have, but he chose the Slugcat anyway. So you can see me putting cardboard together, duct taping it, putting aluminum foil. I have some metal skewers there that were harder to get out than anticipated, but they made very sturdy ears. I've made a couple of pinatas this way. This one was slightly different. It was more narrow. The arms were a little bit longer, and the ears to a degree were longer and more sturdy because I wanted it to be a pinata that could stand up. You can see here getting some feedback from my son, adding a bunch more to the leg, and I had the scissors there cutting off the ends of the arms because they were too long. They're still slightly too long, but whatever. There was a small break there where I decided to go change the liquid that I was using. It's flour and water. I thought it was 2-to-1 flour and water, but it's actually 1-to-1. And if you have 2 water to 1 flour, it actually does not have the right consistency. So I had to go and change that. My son joined me there for a second. This was not the birthday boy. So I cut a hole in the back after I had covered it, and then I think even had a second layer or a second session after it had dried. You can see me getting this really small pieces of aluminum foil. You can see it did not go well getting it apart. I'm trying to duct tape them back together temporarily, and that was not working. At this point, I was thinking of quitting. Decided I was gonna try the value of just the same approach I had been using, and got my sons to help me out. They were holding it, so you had to lay it flat, had to do multiple times of filling in, adding to the torn and then the cut layers, and then letting it dry. I actually, there are multiple drying sessions that I just kind of cut between. And then you can see stuffed it with candy, and then did some more touch up, added some more in there, and then it was actually really solid after that. My son decided he wanted a specific kind of Slugcat. Those who are familiar with Rainworld may know the variety that this is, with both the color and the eye and scar. Yes, he is mean looking. That's what he was going for, though. We actually also cut this little spear because you have to have spears thrown. Unfortunately, I did not have my explosives. Sons are thinking of how they're going to destroy this. Testing how sturdy it is as well, and it passed. You can see how most of the spear throws just kind of bounced off. The kind of spinny throw worked a little bit better. This was a different approach for a pinata, of having it stood up rather than hung. It was kind of interesting to see. Quite difficult to get the right rotation and timing. Like a little bit off, it would just bounce off, or just smack and not do much. And after that, just decided to dispense with the spear and go with the bat approach, which worked pretty well. In addition to that, also, they went with the punching approach. Not the best angle, but you can kind of get a sense for how thorough they wanted to destroy this. It actually was more sturdy than I thought it was going to be. It had I could have done a few more layers even, and it would have been fine. I was running out of time, so decided against it, but there you go.